Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing today? Down here at the park, one of many parks that we have in the city. Um, it also has a duck pond um, down here. It's pretty nice down here. See if I can zoom in on there's the duck pond right there. My son taught me how to do the zoom on here. There's our hospital. Yeah, it's beautiful down here. It's actually really beautiful down here. Yeah, there's the little playground right there. That's a daycare center. Yeah, it's beautiful down here. Now, hopefully I don't get cut off, but I'd like to talk about um, men hurting women. I want to make a point. Men hurt women, women hurt men. That's what I want to talk about. Because the YouTuber, not going to say no name, he was on here talking about how women, because he's talking about Anthony Bourdain. You may know who I'm talking about. When his suicide was because of a woman, and talking about how much women be hurting men, and women are evil, and all this stuff, and women always doing all kind of treacherous things to men, and if I get cut off, I'm gonna do a part two. And the thing is, I was trying to make the point that women hurt men, men hurt women. It's not all women hurting men, because he was acting like, and a lot of men on YouTube come on here playing the victim, acting like, crying, acting like, women are always doing all the hurting and evil and conniving things, and men are just these little innocent victims that just trying to be good, and that's not true. I mean, you got good men, bad men, you got good women, and you got bad women. And so I'm just, they say, oh, women are evil, women are vicious, and women are doing this and women are doing that. And my point that I'm making is, well, first of all, we got to take responsibility for our choices. We got to take responsibility for the choices that we make and are made. Because when you sit around and you say all women, I have an issue with that, because it's not all women. It's the women that you're choosing to be with. It's the women that you're picking that's doing this stuff. It's not all women, and you just haven't found the right one. And so it's just common sense, because you got women, you got men out here that be doing stuff to women, be cheating on women and leaving women with raising kids by themselves and all that, So it's men be, and then, they said, I was listening to somebody the other day, and they, Rick Wallace, if you guys get a chance to listen to him, oh man, he's brilliant. I was listening to one of his videos, and he's talking about black women and depression, and he was saying that statistically, the death rates between the women of the ages of 25 and 46 or something like that is being killed by a spouse or a mate. I didn't know that. I said, that's an interesting stat. I didn't know that. And so a lot of women black women are being subjected to abuse and being killed at the hands of their mate. And so they're not going to talk about that. They're not going to talk about all the women that get abused. Well, maybe they think it's her fault she's getting abused. I don't know. But what about all the horrible things and horrific things that some of these men do to women out here? So you can't just say, well, all women, just because you've been hurt by certain women, you can't just say, well, all women. No, because at the end of the day, it makes you sound bitter. And these men come on YouTube and they say, well, um, women see women do these horrible things to men and all this kind of stuff, and but not taking the time to stop and think about, well, what about the things that these men be doing to women? Men are, some of these men are doing horrific things and evil things to women too. So it's not just one-sided. Yes, you do have some treacherous women out here. There is treacherous women out here, but there's some treacherous men. And the thing is, it's okay for them. What gets me is it's okay for them to sit there and say, oh, women are evil, women are horrible, particularly black women. They're the worst creatures on the earth, they're evil. And it's okay for them to vent and say those things. But then when we talk about the bad things that men do to women, why we got to be bitter? Why we got to be all bitter when we say those things? When we talk about what men do, why we got to be bitter? But then it's okay for them to talk about all the horrible things that women do, and we're talking about men and men's rights and all this kind of stuff. But what about women's rights? When we talk about the horrific things, and there are men out here that do some horrific things to women. Oh, we bitter. Why we got to be bitter? Because we speaking the truth. What women got to go through. But it's okay for them to sit up there and say, well, all women are horrible and women are evil, and particularly black women. When they're talking about women, they're talking about black women in Pacific. So it goes both ways. You got men out here that hurt women, women out here that hurt men. And it's based on your experiences. Dr. Phil said something that resonated with me. He says that we are the common denominator of our relationships. We're the common denominator of our relationships. So the mates that you pick is a reflection of you. The type of people that you're choosing to be with is a reflection of you. And then you have to examine why you're picking these people, why you're picking these mates. And a lot of times it's because of these deep-seated issues of why women make some of the choices that they make in men, and men make some of the choices that they make in women. It's because of deep-seated issues. Some men have mommy issues. Some women have daddy issues, and that's the reason why they're picking the mates that they pick. So I know I had to marinate, and I had to do a lot of soul searching, and think of why I was picking the people. I had a pattern of picking men that were either physically unavailable for me or emotionally unavailable for me, and men that I couldn't count on, and it was because it all stems down to the fact that I didn't have a dad. My dad left when I was 5 years old. So I really didn't have a father to show me, how a real man's supposed to treat a woman and what to look for. If you don't have an example of what to look for growing up as a little girl, and my aunt was a single mom, my mother was a single mom, women in my neighborhood were single moms. I mean, everybody around me was single moms. The only people, I had an aunt and uncle. I had 2 uncles in Chicago that were married, and they only came up every now and again, and that was the only time I was exposed to, that I even seen a glimpse of what it was like to see an actual married couple. But everybody, I really sat down and I thought about that one day. I mean, like my mom's friends, my aunt's friends, women in the neighborhood, they were all single moms. And so I grew up, thinking that, psychologically, I think I grew up thinking that was, that was what women did, But then when I didn't really realize until I read and did an in-depth study of the Bible, the headship arrangement and how the role that a man is supposed to play, a real man is supposed to play in a woman's life. And so if I didn't get that deep understanding of the Bible, I would never know. I would never know. because that's not what my experiences were growing up. What I seen growing up is women doing everything. That's what I seen, and that's realistically, that's what I seen. Never had a man around, growing up to show me what it was really like to have what a man's supposed to do and what a man is supposed to be in a headship arrangement. And so I think I based some of my choices that I made in men off of that example. So I take responsibility for that. When you know better, you do better. And so that's what I'm saying. We're the common denominator of our relationships. And the types of women that these men are they picking them because they're beautiful, they look good on the outside, but they're not taking the time to get to know their character? And at the end of the day, you got to take responsibility for the choices you make. And you can't sit up here and blame a whole race of women for something that the women that you choose to date did to you. And that's what they're doing. They're saying, all black women are evil. And I'd like to say, I wasn't aware that you dated all black women. I don't recall ever meeting you. But it's okay for them to start off and say, well, black women are this, the black women are that. But when they talk